championship. This is a huge matchup today, and he has warned his team, keep the streak alive by doing your job today. Guys?
Appreciate that, Holly. Fielded in the end zone, it's Coleman. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. So Appalachian State's offense makes its way onto the field to open this game. These rivalry games can really get the blood pumping, and we'll see who can manage their emotions best early.
Everyone's been waiting for this game, right? You know, both of these teams have had this game circled all the way back to the beginning of the offseason, so you got to be able to play under control.
With passion, with energy, with hatred, because it's a rivalry game, but keep your emotions in check and making sure I'm controlling what I can control.
Guys, let's chat about App State. Really interesting matchup here. It's always fun when the top two teams in the conference get to square off in the regular season. With all the expansion, it's become a little bit of a rarity, hasn't it?
It has. Obviously, there's so many teams in each conference, but head-to-head still very much matters. So if you're sitting, obviously, at the top like these teams are, the head-to-head this day will really matter down the road.
Yeah, this was a game we circled way back in the preseason, expecting these two teams to be as good as they are, and now we get to find out who's the best in conference. Both these teams relishing this opportunity to show not only their opponent, but the rest of the conference who the top dog is.
Boots, his first of the day away, was called on 4 times in the victory last week. This guy is a daring punt return man. He's not going to settle for the fair catch. A solid return gets a little bit of ground for the offense. So the Eagles offense takes the field for the first time in this game. And there he is, this senior wide receiver. He's a good route runner, good solid hands, and a big part of this passing attack.
And man, this guy is fun to watch. You do not want to take a bathroom break. Sit in your seat when this offense has the ball, because at any point in time, this receiver can make the unbelievable highlight catch, David. His catch radius as good as there is in all of college.
Could be an alley. They'll finally drag him down, but not before he gets it to the 40, and it's a first down. Georgia Southern in a hurry. From the gun, the running back tries to hit the hole. You guys have both played in rivalry games, so what did you do to keep yourself locked? During that week of preparation, David?
Well, you try to keep your emotions in check, but it's really, really hard to do because a lot of times the hatred is so strong. The emotions are so real. The coaches get super tight, and they start talking about things, Jesse, so you don't just treat it as another game.
No, it's hard to handle the anxiety leading up to those games, not just because of what it means to your season, but because of what the fans are saying, what your coaches are saying, what your family and friends are saying, understanding how important those rivalries are.
And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete. And they'll have to settle for a field goal try. And he's going to have to get into this football. This is a 53-yard attempt. And it took everything he had, but he barely gets it in there. And the first points of the day come on that field goal.
And he'll take that first drive. Like, you wanted a touchdown, but you gave the people here at home something to cheer about on that first drive. Move the football enough to get your kicker an opportunity and to put 3 on the board.
The Mountaineers offense coming onto the field. They went 3 and out on their first possession, now to see if they can be more productive this time around. Trying to get rid of it. Good job to toss that ball out of bounds and avoid the loss. So now it's 2nd and long. Pulls it in. It's Villa. And not much doing there as that defense runs him out of bounds. They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. Looking for a man. It's Singleton. Hauls it in. He'll have the first down as he gets it to the 28-yard line before he stopped. The Mountaineers come to the line with a new set of downs. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. They get him stopped at the 32. That's a gain of 4. They'll line up for a 2nd down play. Got the first himself. Breaks into the open. And he's brought down after a nice gain. And the Mountaineers have their offense in high gear. On the delay, it's Lewis. And a nice solid pickup there before the defense wrestles him to the ground.
And I think this is the key in this game, man. These rivalry games, it's about passion, about emotion. And coming to this game, we saw him last week, man. He had over 100. Last year in the blowout, he was a non-factor. He's got to be the catalyst in this game. You can't have a repeat of what happened a year ago, where you're throwing the football because you're behind and you got beat down. Got to establish the line of scrimmage.
Could not make his way to the corner.
Really good defense. You know, you're trying to stay as close as you can to all these targets, and most importantly, those open field tackles and getting them on the ground as soon as they catch it. That's a major deal for defenses, and that was a good example there of it.
He's got it. That'll be enough for the first down as they mark it down at the 31-yard line. The Mountaineers go back to work after moving the chains through the air. They'll send the tight end in motion. Run inside. It's Lewis. They get him off his feet after a pickup of 5 down to the 25. Got 6 on first down. Now a lot of options on 2nd and 4. Back to pass. It's Singleton. Makes the grab on the left. And they knock him down, but he got past the line to gain. And the Mountaineers, after moving the sticks through the air, come to the line. In the red area, it's Roberts.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They'll get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
Headed to the end zone. Into the hallelujah land. Touchdown, Appalachian State.
That's a nice job by the offense there in their second drive. I know in the opening possession you go 3 and out, you're scratching your head. That didn't obviously go the way you wanted to, but a good job of sort of collecting yourselves, going through the next couple play calls and making sure everybody's back on the same page. We saw this offense, David, on this drive really be in sync and finally find the rhythm.
You got to like the answers, right? Like sometimes you come out, sometimes you're situated and you're ready to rock and roll and it comes out hot. Sometimes it doesn't, but I like the response. Their defense does their job, gets them the football back. They come out, execute. Nice job getting on the scoreboard.
Picks up a useful 5-yard chunk out to the 30-yard line.
Well, it's plays like that that'll help this offense stay in rhythm all game long. If you can have that kind of success on first down running the football, it just opens up your entire playbook moving forward.
Finds enough room to get 3 out to the 34. It's 3rd down from their own 34 as they try to keep the drive moving. Dragged down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down.
Well, this offense is sending a little bit of a message here. Of course, we know how much they've struggled on 3rd down all season long. They're just never able to seem to get into a rhythm. But after that last running play, moving the sticks, you just wonder what that does for their confidence.
And after the tackle, we are headed to the end of the first quarter. We've reached the break, and Appalachian State has the lead. We've put one in the books. Let's have a look at our game summary. Heading in the opposite directions now as we crank it up in the second. work done on first down. Now back to the line. Quarterback making adjustments. Johnson wants to throw it. Just a short pass to the tight end. And he goes down after making the grab. Picks up a few, but still short of the first down.
Well, you hear all the time that the tight end's the QB's best friend. You saw a perfect example of it on that last play, right? Second down, you need to pick up some positive yards to keep this third down manageable. Really nice job of executing there.
They'll try to power their way ahead. Doesn't quite make it to the first down marker. He's a yard short. And after that run, there is a player still. Hold on a minute. The offense still out there going for it in their own territory. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. He's got it. First down and more. He's got enough, and they roll the dice on fourth down, and they keep the drive alive. And the Eagles come to the line with a fresh set of downs thanks to that last connection in the passing game. And they'll wrestle him to the ground after a short gain. Short completion on first down, and here comes 2nd and 8. Back to pass. Got his man on the right. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few.
And a really nice job by the wide receiver. You run a drag route, find space. They're in zone coverage. They're not covering man-to-man. Find a little hole. Look at that QB. Y'all get on the same page. You could tell they were, and that's why they got the first down.
He was fighting his way toward those sticks, but they'll stop him a couple of yards short.
And this offense, I don't think this is going to be a surprise. I think the offense is going to stay on the field. You've already seen it once on this drive, and they've already been successful. You know how hard it is to defend when there's an extra down, and they do it over and over again. So I think this offense will continue to stay aggressive like they were on the last fourth.
The Eagles come to the line in the hurry-up.
What happened to the beautiful days of fourth down punts? Weren't those great? Like back in the day when they didn't go for it every single fourth down. Nowadays, with all the analytics, go for it. The offense goes for it. Second time, 2 for 2 on fourth down. Really frustrating if you're on the defensive side of the football.
I don't know, man. If I'm on defense here and I'm watching the way my D-line's getting manhandled, I might have to put more guys in the box. I might have to sacrifice a safety and try to get more hats close to the line of scrimmage to slow this running back down, because the RPO game's been a problem.
Georgia Southern about to snap it on another 1st and 10. Quarterback may change this route. Johnson looking to throw. Under fire. Couldn't find anybody to throw to. He'll just toss it away. It'll be 2nd down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. The play-action fake. Oh, they're after him. And down he goes. The defense bringing the heat.
When it's a play-action pass, that quarterback, he really has to sell the fake. He can't tell his offensive lineman's getting beat right away while he's selling the fake. He had no shot.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to turn one loose downfield. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back. Here comes the Mountaineers offense to take the field and open this possession. Last time they had it, they were backed up in their own end, marched right down the field and scored, and now they'll try to do that once again. Keeping it on the ground inside. It's Roberts. Turning it on. Brought down at the 25 after he picked up 10. They'll snap it from the 25 here on 1st down. Got a man. It's Sanchez. Really good job to pick up a chunk of yardage and get it out to the 39-yard line. They've come out with answers on this possession, and now another 1st down. Now the play fake. Here comes the heat. Can't make the connection, and the defense putting on the heat and forcing the incompletion. Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Looking to pass. It's Singleton. This time he's got it. Found a little bit of room to operate, but he'll be stopped just short of the first down.
In the slant route, you got to put that foot in the ground and cut in a hurry so you can create a little bit of separation from that cornerback. And a nice job with the concentration, plucking that football, pulling it in.
He'll pick up a few on the play, just enough for the first down. They'll mark it right at midfield. The Mountaineers pounded the rock to move the sticks, now back to work. They're going to ride this running back. Here's a little room there. They ripped off a big one, and they get it down to the 27. Offense trying to keep them off balance on 1st and 10.
And how about the running back, man? Rips off a big play. This offense creates some momentum, and what do? They keep their foot on the gas right back on the football to try to keep this offense rolling.
He'll be brought down inside the 10-yard line at the 9. After coming up with back-to-back explosive plays, here they are, 1st and goal. Makes the grab. They get it down to the 7 on that pass play, in prime position for a score. Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. Trying play action. It's complete to the right. That throw and catch gets them down to the 6, and the defense is running out of answers. Man, the last thing you want after controlling the ball, moving it down the field, is to have to settle for a field goal attempt. It's 3rd and goal. From the gun, wants to pass. Bringing the heat. He's sacked. This defense all over it. They've decided to try to go for the field goal here. Right down the boulevard. Now up by 7 points here in the 2nd. We've reached the 2-minute timeout. We've got a tight one, and they'll try to build on the lead before going to the locker room. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Brings a return out across the 25. Gets a couple of extra yards. He's stopped at the 27-yard line. The Eagles offense now ready to start the drive. They'll start this drive down by a trailing 10-3. Running inside. It's Samuel. There he goes. They stop him just a link or two short of the first, and man, what they can do on 2nd down here.
Really good surge that time by the offensive line. You saw all those bodies by the defense being pushed backwards. That opened up the crease for the ball carrier. He's able to get a really nice gain there, setting up 2nd and inches.
And the Eagles are facing 3rd and inches. They'll try to bully their way for the first. They'll move the chains. Good execution on 3rd down. They've got it at the 41. It's a first down. They'll stop the clock to reset the chains. Offense up tempo.
Well, in a short yardage situation, they pull off an explosive play. And how about the blocking up front? Everybody getting a big-time push.
Yeah, and those 3rd and shorts, defense plays aggressive, loads the box. One guy misses, and it ends up being a big game. Nice play by this offense.
Not the most productive half for this offense so far, but finally starting to get it in gear. 1st and 10. Looking downfield, it's Helton. A shot toward the end zone. And he makes the catch, but just a hair out of the back of the end zone. It'll be incomplete. Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on 2nd down. The run inside. It's Samuel. An explosive play in the running game as he's got the first down. Georgia Southern in a hurry. They're in the red zone, and they'll pass it. Firing to the right, complete. Can't quite cross the plane to get the 6, but they'll have the first down. They might have the defense's head spinning a little bit now. Hit them with a big run, now they hit them with a big pass.
Man, it's so hard to defend both. You know that. Which coverage do I want to put? Do I want to put more people in the box to stop the run? When you've got this kind of balance on offense, the defense can't be right.
A first down run in the red zone. And he breaks the play. Touchdown, Eagles!
That is exactly how you want to end halves. Put a drive together, score the touchdown, a chance to tie this up, and take all the momentum into halftime.
And they add the extra point to finish the drive. So the offense, more than happy with the result of the play, will decline the penalty. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Appalachian State comes out onto the field to get the drive started. Always good to get points on a drive, David, but chip shot field goals can leave you a little empty.
And I think it's great to get points, but the great teams get touchdowns in the red area. You got to get out there this time and execute a little better on this drive.
You're absolutely right, David. Generally, the best red zone offenses are the ones that run the ball the best. So let's see if they can be a little bit more physical on this drive.
Short gain on that run as the clock winds down here late in the half. Dropping back, it's Singleton. He's going to let one fly down the middle. He can haul it in, incomplete. They took a shot, but that's how we'll wrap up the half. Halftime as both teams head into the locker room. We're looking forward to a terrific second half, but before that, let's check in with Kevin Connor.
Guys, week 9, kind of a week where we separate the pretenders from the contenders here on the EA Sports College Football Update Show. We begin with Georgia taking on the number 22 team, the Florida Gators. And it's the Bulldogs who win it on their home turf. They take pride in protecting their dirt, so to speak, and they did so today. Make it 2 straight victories, and though their quest for perfection is over, this team is still very much alive in the playoff picture. Here now, some other games you may have interest in, and social media has some sharp opinions about the state of things right now. Back now to your game inside Paulson Stadium. And talk about a good competitive game so far. Not saying this has been the best first half we've seen in the history of these two programs, but they've matched each other's intensity, and the result has been a very evenly played game. Fascinating to see how the rest of this one plays out. With that, let's throw it back to the guys to see how this rivalry matchup plays out.
Thanks for that halftime report, Kevin. He'll put total leather and get this second half started. And he takes this from inside the 5. Tackled and brought down at the 23-yard line, so not a whole lot of room on that return. Holly, what are you finding out about the latest on this injury?
Georgia Southern's head coach told me at the half. Big injury news to report. Their star wide receiver is out for the rest of this game. They do not know exactly what's going wrong, but it is an upper body injury. I seen him trying to test out some things, ball security on the sideline, but he cannot go. I'll let you know how things develop here on the sideline and which of his backups are able to step up and help this offense. Back to you.
Okay, Holly.
Yeah, and it's so nice. Don't overthink it, right? Just hand it off, get the first down, new set of downs, let's go.
They've got a 1st and 10 at the 34. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces 2nd down.
In football, you hear the term quick, but don't hurry. And you can tell when you run these RPOs, the QBs want to make that decision quick. And I think he hurried it a little bit too much. Got the ball out quick, but obviously he was inaccurate in his pass.
And they'll bring him down after a short pickup. 3rd and 6 yards to go. Scanning the field, it's Helton. Snagged out of the air. And he's knocked down immediately, but not before he moves the chains. Georgia Southern really efficient on offense. Keeping it on the ground inside. It's Samuel. And he finds some solid space, makes a nice game before the defense is able to stop him. Let's see what they've got on 2nd down. Caught in the backfield, it's Bradshaw. Great job on the containment and the tackling. They stop him for no gain.
Well, that receiver's looking at his teammates like, guys, what's up? You're not going to block for me on the screen? Seriously? I mean, I just lost yards on a screenplay. How does that happen?
Keeps it himself. There's some room. Quarterback slides, and he's got enough for the 1st down. The Eagles come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Wants to throw on 1st down. Pocket breaking down. Oh, it's a fumble. And the defense jumps on it, and they get that turnover.
Well, you got to know as a quarterback, when you're in an empty set, which means you have no running backs in the backfield with you, you got to be able to get rid of the football. And you're expecting pressure. The clock's going to go off in your head. Not a good job of keeping 2 hands on the football, and the defense able to knock it loose.
They can rely on this guy to pick up solid yardage when they need it, and he's out to the 43. Halfway there on 1st down, it's 2nd and 5. They'll move the tight end. Rides to the back. Can't get him to the ground. Oh, he's got some space. Oh, and what a move. What a juke, and he makes it past the marker.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
Just nosing into enemy territory at the 49. It's 1st and 10. Gonna run it. It's Roberts. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it. And the Mountaineers now with a long way to go to pick up the 1st down. The handoff as they run the counter play here. It's a fumble on the play. Defense falls on the ball. Going to be a turnover.
And late in the football games, coaches are like, don't make the mistake. In this offense, they just did it. Tie football game, they put the ball on the deck, the defense recovers. Now they're going to have to depend on their defense to come out, get a stop, and keep them in this football game.
And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain.
And, man, you got to love that from your corner. Willing to pull the trigger right away. Obviously, the running back slips out of the backfield. They throw him the football, but he doesn't waste any time. He doesn't hesitate, pulls the trigger, runs at him, makes the nice tackle, and gets the stop.
Finds his man. It's Bradshaw. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few.
A nice job by the quarterback there, working through his progressions. Nothing open down the field, so he checks it down to his drag route coming from the slot receiver to get the completion.
Got his man. That'll be enough for the 1st down as they stop him at the 43-yard line. Timeout called by the Eagles. It's their first. And that will leave them with just 2 timeouts to use the rest of the way. Now on first down from the 43. Running inside. It's Samuel. Defense right there to stop him in his tracks, and they get nothing on that play. Lost 1 on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. Dropping back, it's Helton. Finds his tight end. And a good job of coverage by that defense. Just a short pickup.
They're able to find the tight end for an easy completion, but good job tackling, not allowing him to get the first down.
On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Fires to the tight end. Breaks into the open. Just making a play, getting it to the 23-yard line. It'll be first down. And the Eagles go back to work after moving the chains through the air. Got it into the red zone, dragged down at the 18-yard line. Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. Looking to fire. And that's going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That was a physical matchup there. Third down coming. A field goal here would put them on top, but a touchdown's what you want in a game like this. It's complete to the left. Touchdown, Georgia Southern. That one will give them the lead. And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. They went 54 yards on that last touchdown drive. And the finisher, an 18-yard touchdown throw. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The Appalachian State offense returns to the field. As it turns out, the fumble on that last drive set up the touchdown, David.
And there's no bigger stat in football than turnovers. You turn the football over, they turn it into points. Jesse, that is not a recipe for success.
Good news, though, they get another chance, right? They can make amends with this drive right here. That's all that's important. You've got to execute and you've got to lock in.
Using his legs, it's Roberts. Slams ahead for a yard out to the 33.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
They tried to go smash mouth on 3rd and short, and it did not work against this defense. The kick is on its way. And the punt will hit at the 7, and they can't corral it. It goes into the end zone. It'll come out to the 20. A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. The run inside. It's Samuel. Into the pile. Maybe got one. He stopped at the 21. Right around the halfway point of the season, neither of these squads that we've watched today rank, but here's the top 25 as it stands right now. One more period to go to see who can make the winning plays and come home with the victory. And a chance to mull things over. Let's see how they start the final period here on 2nd down. To the air, it's Helton. Pressure coming. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down. And now this offense will try to figure out a way to move the chains after that 2nd down incompletion. Quarterback slides, and that is a punch to the gut to any defense to let a quarterback get out and move the sticks there. Georgia Southern about to snap it on another 1st and 10. Pushes ahead for a couple. They'll mark it at the 33.
At this point of the game, the offense has the lead, and the offensive coordinator knows they want to keep running the football. So he's going back, he's looking at his playlist, and he's saying, which runs work the best for me in this game? What can I lean on right here to make sure we win this one?
And he's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage by the big defensive tackle. Now facing a 3rd and long. He's got it. down for this offense. The Eagles, after moving the sticks through the air, come to the line. Keeping it on the ground inside. It's Samuel. 7-yard pickup on that one. Is now 2nd and 3. They can really be aggressive after that last play. It's 2nd and 3. Right back to it. Make the stop at the 40, but it's a 10-yard gain and a fresh set of downs.
And this offense has really done a nice job on the ground. Like, the ground game has been solid, man. Nice job opening holes, running the football. They've been consistent with the run. And as this game creeps along, right, if they can continue to do this with the lead, this is going to be a game that they're going to have in hand.
Looking for a gap. It's Samuel. Powers through the defender. Knocked down at the 25-yard line. Picked up 10 there and gets a first down. And the Eagles kept this drive moving on the ground. Now back to work. They'll run the counter. Finds a little bit of room. Give him a couple down to the 23. Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on 2nd down. Back to pass. It's Helton. Dances away to buy time. He's going to run it to the 10. Huge game before he goes out of bounds, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
And both these quarterbacks, man, they're showing off their ability to take off and scramble and make plays. Right here, it's a design pass. He's looking to make a play. What does he do? He sees some space, captures it, makes the big play with his feet, gets another first down. This guy can do that a lot.
No room to run, and he stopped right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and goal. Tries again to get it in. They get him on the ground at the 3-yard line, but this defense is taking some punches.
And this defense sold out for the run. I love it. Physical, downhill, 2nd and goal. Nice job getting the stop, forcing the 3rd down.
Well, they've gotten it down to the 3, but now it's 3rd and goal. Trying to punch it in. That was a huge 3rd down stop, but now the field goal can make it a 2-possession game.
Man, if I'm quarterback right now, after this long of a drive down this close, I'm going for a touchdown here, Pop.
And I get that, but I've worn this defense out, man. I'm going to go for the touchdown right here. And if I miss, I got to go the whole length of the field to score a touchdown.
You know, it's funny, in an age where there's so many college football analytics and everybody wants to go for it on 4th down, at the end of the day, it still comes down to managing the game. Good decision by the head coach here in the 4th quarter. By kicking that field goal, you've now made it a 2-possession game. Your chances of winning this thing have now gone way up.
They'll run the RPO and throw it right. That one could really put this drive into high gear as they have a first down at the 37. New set of downs after the completion. They'll move the wide receiver. Looking downfield, it's Singleton. They'll run the screen. Hit and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Backed up now, here's 2nd and long. One back in the backfield, he gets the carry. And they're able to shove him to the turf as they stop him for a short gain. The Mountaineers headed quickly to the line. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. A strike downfield. Turning it on. Gets it into the end zone, but wait a minute. We'll have to check out the laundry on the field. Maybe a momentary scare for that offense when they saw the flag. It's on, the defense declined, and the touchdown stands. And with the extra point, every little bit counts as they get closer. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And the score comes courtesy of the big play, covering 61 yards on the touchdown pass. He'll start the return inside his 5. He gets a block. Oh, what vision. He's going to get loose. He'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Georgia Southern. Boy, nothing electrifies a stadium quite like a return for a touchdown.
It's always so exciting because you don't see them very often. You got to go so many yards, 80, 90 yards at a time. What a great job by the returners, showing the speed, providing the electricity. There's a reason they're all jacked up, and it's because of that awesome kickoff return.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Appalachian State regains possession, and the Mountaineer offense headed to the field. Giving up that last field goal really ratchets up the sense of urgency for the offense on this drive. What a job to lay out and make the catch. From the 39-yard line, it's 1st and 10. Good start to this drive, and they'll need much, much more if they're going to give them a finish.
They need a ton more of this, but you got to start the drives great. The first play needs to be really good. That was a good start. Now we got to keep building on it, and we got to do it in a hurry.
Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be 2nd down.
He didn't have a whole lot of time to get rid of that one. The defense was all over him right after the snap. No wonder that thing fell incomplete.
Makes the catch along the sidelines and steps out of bounds.
Well, the offense trying to attack the perimeter of the field in the passing game. And how about the sweet feet by the receiver on that play?
Who doesn't like a little dash of the arts with their football? A little ballet moment there. Just what they were looking for, and he's got him set up in business at the 35 with a 1st down.
Well, you got to think here offensively that you may have 2 more possessions in this game. You can still win, but you've got to be aggressive. You've got to start taking shots vertically down the field, throwing to your best players.
Short completion on 1st down, and here they are with 2nd and 8.
That's a really nice job by the cornerback, playing with his eyes. He sees the running back release out of the backfield, sees him get the ball, and this guy's tough. You know, there are a lot of corners out there that would try to submarine these running backs, and then they get hurdled. Not this guy. Good job getting the tackle, getting him on the ground.
After the 2nd down misfire, looking at a 3rd and 8. Back to throw, it's Singleton. Looking to the big tight end. Another incompletion on 3rd down. So on 4th down, here comes the field goal kicker in a huge spot.
That's why it's so important for this defense to win 1st and 2nd down. You set up 3rd and longs like that. You can show your exotic looks. You can get the pass rush going. Everybody on the back end expecting throw. And that's how you force incompletions and force 4th downs. Well, that kid just showed off his hammer for a leg, 50-plus, and he did it with ease.
Georgia Southern has it back, and here comes the offense again. The defense is going to dare them to throw the ball. They know the offense is trying to run out the... There he goes! We'll head to the 2-minute timeout. Tight ball game here, and this offense will try to milk the clock. The Eagles with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. They'll go right back to it. They push it out to the 39 after picking up 5. No wasted time as the defense uses a timeout here. 1:54 left to play.
Fresh legs, man, and it is showing. Of course, this team had the bye last week, and you're seeing it right now late in the game. Running the football, imposing their will against the defense that looks tired. Of course, they had to play last week, and you're seeing that right now.
The Mountaineers call a timeout. That's their 2nd. And now what will they come up with on this 2nd down play? 2nd down, they'll go to the air. Nothing doing downfield. He'll cut his losses and throw it away. It'll be 3rd down. Trying to pick up a 1st down. Wants to adjust the pattern. Back to throw, it's Helton. Under fire. That pass is well off target. He got hit as he was trying to throw, and they can't convert on 3rd down. Georgia Southern brings on the punt team. Getting our first look of the afternoon at the punter. Nice directional kick there like a solid iron shot. The Mountaineers offense coming onto the field. First play of this drive comes from the 27. He wastes no time and comes out throwing. Oh, it's picked off. Oh, at the worst possible time. Great place to start for this offense. The handoff, keep working on that clock. Wanting to stop the clock on defense, they use their third and final timeout. They'll get together to decide how to play this second down. He'll run it again. He's got enough for the first down, and that ought to be enough to put them in victory formation for the rest of this one. The quarterback takes a knee. Great Nick Saban often says players often respond better to losses. They listen more than they do if they're getting away with things in wins. So maybe this is an opportunity to recalibrate.
I think you take it first and you internalize it and you get upset because obviously the goal was to win the game. But you've also got to flip the switch really quickly, Jesse, and say, okay, what do I need to work on? Because I only got one loss. I'm still very much in the thick of all of my dreams that I want to come true. So I can't take it too hard, but I got to use it.
Yeah, this loss definitely hurts, and I know one of the goals for this team at the start of the year was to go undefeated and win a national championship. You can't go undefeated anymore, but you can still win a national championship. The key is the leadership in the locker room. They've got to turn the page. They've got to get everybody refocused. You can't let this loss now turn into 2 or 3 or more down the road.
This has been a presentation of EA Sports College Football for Dave.